Welcome to A Canadian Investing in the U.S., a podcast and YouTube channel focused on Canadians buying real estate with host Glen Sutherland.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Canadian Investing in the U.S. I just wanted to talk about another idea. If you're short on cash, it might be a way to get some more properties, or it might be a way to get more properties even if you have some money to do this. This method is definitely not for everybody. I know it could add some stress to your life. It depends how good you are at handling some debt. But anyway, I'll go over it and then you can make your own decision if it's something you want to do. So basically, the gist of this whole method is what you want to do is go start getting credit cards. I know it sounds crazy and it might affect your credit score slightly by getting a lot of credit cards, but I know for a fact that this will work with many of the major credit cards. For instance, it will work with Scotiabank, Tangerine, MBNA, TD, Royal, and BMO. I know that it will work with those. So what you do is you go get some credit cards, and what you do is you just put a little bit on each one. You just go buy a coffee with each one every month. What happens is you get into this first part of the year, the January to March, and you'll start to get all these. Well, maybe I was going to show you one, but maybe I won't, because who knows what kind of information's on it. It's personal. But anyway, you'll start getting letters in the mail, and they'll start offering you lines of credit. So, yeah, you can use these lines of credit for stuff, but in all honesty, the rates that they are often giving you just because you have a credit card with them, like I get one right up above me from BMO, and I don't even bank with BMO, but I had a credit card with BMO, so they gave me this line of credit. So you can go start getting these lines of credit from banks, and you just sort of save those for a rainy day fund. You don't actually need to use them, but at least that's how I do it. I sort of set them aside for just in case, right? So you got those, and what happens after a little bit longer is they'll start giving you, especially this time of year, the credit card thing. So 0% for 8 months, 10 months, or a year, and you just pay the 3% setup fee. And you start thinking about that, right? And it's 3% money. It's actually cheaper than if you were to go and use your line of credit. At least my line of credit is more expensive than 3%. So now you got some 3% loans, but they're going to come due in a year. But we're all doing perfect burrs now, right? We're not sinking our money into properties where we're not going to get our money back. Go buy a property. If anyone who works with me, they know that I kind of am always looking for properties that will do a burr in about 6 months. So you can do, because I'm always looking to, probably could do it earlier, but you get tenants in there in like 2 months or something after doing a renovation. But I usually wait till the 6 month mark to do the refi. So technically, I could probably do this twice if I got perfect timing or whatever. But you remember, you need to pay these off before that. And also the other thing is usually they're charging you an interest rate, or you have to make some payments towards it, but it's principal payments throughout the year. So you kind of got to factor that into your numbers too. So there will be some extra money, but that's your own money. You're getting that money back. So it's less of a big deal, I guess. But anyway, I think we know where I'm going with this. You can basically borrow some money from banks or off your credit cards at a thing. I know that it's not really going to be great for your credit score, because it's going to show you're not showing restraint, because off the start you're showing restraint, like you have like a credit card limit, whatever they've given you, right? And you're only using a small bit, so you're showing restraint, so they like that. But whenever you start to use the whole thing, like when you go take your 3% cash advance off the card, you're not really showing straight. I know that will affect your credit score a little bit. I don't really know how exactly it does that, or how much it will hurt you, but it will. I'm sure it will have some sort of effect with that. But you think about it, and they're like, hey, you just go get some credit cards, and instantly you get some lines of credit, and they'll offer you $10,000 or $20,000 for each one. And you start to do the math, and you're like, hey, if I'm buying houses and it really only takes $20,000, say, to buy the house, and I just did this for like 5 credit cards, you're like, hey, that's an extra 5 houses times 2. Like, because if you're doing it, if you could burr these really fast twice in a year, and then pay off these loans at the end, you're talking about an extra 10 houses a year. That's nothing to really snuff at, especially when you're only borrowing this money at, well, the lines of credit usually don't have the best interest rates, especially when they're just basing on you having a credit card, so the rates are a little bit higher than a good secured line of credit against a house or something. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. It's just an idea. It will add some stress to your life, especially when it's coming to like month 10 or 11, because you're going to have to make sure that your second burr is going to end at the right time to get the money out to pay off the line of credit, off the credit card or the line of credit, because especially with the credit cards, at the end of the term, if you don't make that final payment on time, your rate will jump from 0% to 3% up to like 28%, 18%, whatever kind of crazy credit card rates they have. So you kind of want to get that done. I guess it's not the end of the world if it doesn't match up perfectly and you have to pay it for a month, but ideally you don't want to pay that. I don't like paying that kind of interest rate, especially on credit cards. It's a principal thing. I think that's it. Feel free to message me. I think most of you know that I'm running a book club now. Come join us. Let's read a book together every month. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you next week.